All right. So back to what I was saying. So we're not going to start on the higher time frame, at least here, and we're just going to focus on that. And that alone, that small box, is the only thing that stands between the QQQ and potentially new highs, right? Now, this wide fluctuation in price, I told you guys before, again, we can and very well may blow past this and move into the 575s. It's Trump's market. He's pumping it how he wants, right? But this is when I look for trend change, right? Wide move down, big, move up, empty spaces filled. So as we have done throughout this week, periodically, sometimes a little bit more stronger in our sentiment in one direction or another, there is room to put money on the table, right? Of course, I don't know if Monday's expiration is the best. So, don't, if you're already bleeding or because if you've been, having a difficult, this is not for you. You know what I mean? Like, find a different one that cost even less, or focus on IWM. But for QQQ, this is the resistance. This is where a speculative short, not me, I would never do that. Ooh, there's I don't get it, bro. Why do I get this restriction every day? But I do like, in this environment, looking to the why is this not popping up? Sorry, having technical difficulties in the background. This is a good, if there was any spot that I would grab a potential short going into next week, aiming for the holes in the bottom, right? The 24-hour obviously has quite a few of them. The 4-hour kind of exposes those as well. But with that being said, the first area underneath us that we would have to lose is 571. So it's purely speculative. At the moment, we are green up against the wall, or up against nothing really. So if you're deciding to take this green, that's probably, that might be the technical thing that looks better. But at the end of the day, none of this adheres to the strat, as far as 24-hour time frame boxes. So it is purely speculation. But if you can, that's what I'm thinking, right? Is we have some holes down to the bottom. We've hit our floor. There is absolutely no more empty space at all to the upside. So put financial advice on your screen so I won't get banned. It says unoriginal content though. By the way, I want to take a second here. Not sure how many people are on here, but we, as far as I know, only need, let's see. Yeah, so we only need 30 more people. So if you are watching this and you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please make sure to do this. All right. And when that happens, could be today, could be tomorrow. We'll drop some goodies. All right, so that's how QQQ and me are dancing together. So I like QQQ probably out of all of them. Now, SPY. This one's different, real different. 24-hour time frame, you are moving back into, can't call it a box, but this was the previous range. It is not something that we can identify clearly on this 24-hour time frame, but I do know that the first green candle to my left, at minimum, has been reclaimed. On the 4-hour, still really nothing. So what we're going to do is pull that box that we did use before to the punch down to the downside. And so it is only, right? And there is empty space to lead us up there. If you are looking for a target to the upside, SPY is looking up towards that 639 previous top, and the end of the empty space. Honestly, I mean, I could kind of say there's not much left, but I'll be generous at 639.76. So, again, this is definitely a place for speculation. If you have the cash, we're not in the stock market to fucking unless you're just purely investing and staying safe with dividends and covered calls and all that other shit. We're here to make money, and I think that right now, looking again not towards Monday, but even upon a rejection here and the empty space down to the floor and the gap below you, we know it's coming. We know at some point we'll probably see this. Uh, the direction has been up, um, but it's taken us quite a bit more time to move back up through that empty space that we created. So that's kind of a context clue there. So I heard that there's a giveaway for a subscription for a week free. There could be some stuff. Yeah, I don't really know. All right, so that is all three ETFs. Oh, sorry, I missed IWM. What am I talking about? IWM. This one stayed bunched up, so another candidate for a move going into next week. Now there are two areas on this chart. I mean, this is an intriguing ass chart. You've got this right here, nice little channel to the downside. You're bundled up underneath this box. That box takes you basically up and out. The first actual target is 226.78, but of course, cost basis at 228 would be the next target to the upside right about here. So you're in a, again, kind of like a really interesting area as far as there's your floor. There's a gap down there to 215. So of all the ETFs, this one might have the, as for the low risk, really low risk. Uh, do I keep hearing a duck quack, or is it his mic? No, that's actually a duck that I keep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's your mic.
My mic.
The top focus. Yeah, I don't want to say anything, but I kept hearing that fucking duck too.
So dumb.
It's your mic. It's the moment you talk, it's like a duck is translating what you're saying in duck language. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
Is somebody, what about on TikTok? Can you guys see that or hear that? Excuse me. I've been having weird issues with my computer. No, you guys can't hear it? Man, that sucks. Discord's crazy, dude. Maybe because I'm double crisped up on a Sunday
I
afternoon.
was losing my mind.
All right. Well, fuck a duck. All right. So 218.33. I actually do like IWM for speculation as well, just being a little bit on the lower risk side. But other than that, that is your three ETFs going into next week. We have plenty of time kind of look into next week and see what we have ahead of us since we are potentially looking at swinging. So next week, chock full of the juice. It could be bad juice, could be good juice. But Tuesday, we have core CPI, month over month, year over year. FOMC members are going to be speaking, right? And core PPI unemployment claims on Thursday, and then Friday we have core retail sales, month over month, and then preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. I don't give a shit about any of that. At the end of the day, they're just things that are going to move what we can already see on the chart. So that being said, good week as far as uh, potential catalyst. Now, do we have a earnings chart? Does anybody want to post that? Somebody gave me that website yesterday. It was actually really cool, but I fucked it up and I lost it. I'll take a look at it. Yeah. Are we holding snow further? I am, yes. There's obviously room to trim, but yes, I am holding this down. All right. Yeah, so it looks like we have a pretty decent little lineup here. BBAI, AMC. Yeah, so if you're looking at the only ones that we could look at here before the end of the day are Monday, Barrick. I don't know what any of these are, and that's about it, right? Yeah, decent. I don't see anything like crazy. It's pretty full though. So we'll go through that a little bit later. I want to go ahead and take your guys' request really quickly. We're going to take a look at snow. Of course, if you have snow, what we do by the end of the day will dictate what I am planning on doing. As far as right now, I am planning on holding. If we pull ourselves back up to 194 or 193.90, then I have to hedge, and I have to hedge for the worst case scenario, which would be a return back up to $200 or 205. Now, if you're in shorter expiration contracts, I have August 22nd and September 5th, right? One is going to be built for the whole journey, and the journey for me is down to that 184. However, we do have a couple stepping stones that we're going to have to pass, including 189.77 as well. So, uh, yeah. Yeah, if you guys have any requests, go ahead and start dropping those now. What's on my watch list? What's in your wallet? Uh, so Target's on the watch list, Snow's on the watch list. Um, Clove is I still got a nice chunk of contracts on Clove, so that one's more or less still being observed. Trips on the watch list, more or less because got a ride with Ivy here. And Apple, we're watching this one to see where else it can go. It slapped the 230s. But it does have some remaining empty space and a gap to 238. I think even 237 actually is probably a previous wall right there. I think that's another area. So these are a lot of these are continuation plays. Coin is on the watch list as well. Coin. All right. So, uh-huh.
These continuation plays that you're talking about, are they more of if you're in, you're in,
Yeah.
if you're not, then you kind of just wait on the sidelines if it gives you a retest?
Yeah, I mean, if they're green and they're an empty space and we bought them 3 days ago, and I'm just, again, those are the things that are going to be taking up my time, next week managing my positions. So
Okay.
now some of them, am I gonna would I look at taking Apple much further? That's up to you, but I know I wouldn't. After that, no, I'm not gonna do that. So. All right. Yeah, go ahead and drop those if you guys are in the Discord. Drop your request. If you had any gains from today, be sure to post those. Probably gonna do a little video as well. Let's see something real quick. Sorry, typing. Okay. So coin up now. I am unbiased on coin. I said that earlier. This one is going to make, I think, for a really, really good trade. But one thing I want to remind everybody that coin loves to give you a good rip, good dip, but it will chop and it will build. And this is exactly what this could end up being. Um, Today, bouncing up, filling the empty space. Now you're holding it. So be prepared, right, to experience a continuation or some continuation in range. However, there are some well-established signals for the upside. A move over 319.50 or 319.40, and a break over that top of the box at 324.63, and you have plenty of empty space to take this up to that 333, and obviously there's more up there. To the downside, right? There's really not much, other than maybe this range right here, stopping you. You bounced right off of that 293.82. So if you can punch through that or make your way through that range box, then of course there is, and this is the focus here. I don't give a shit about the lower time frame until one or the other, or happens. But there is a good play to make money on this side and that side. That's what we were talking about earlier. So
Did you see detail above the earnings picture?
oh, this from earlier.
I just bought 20. Hold up. I just bought 27.5 puts and 26.5 for next week.
You just need to break that. That's 28.44. Obviously 28.48, 4 cent, difference here. Uh, you are closing definitively below that floor, which is a great start. So yes, empty
These
space.
2 weeks are 2 weeks out better. Or was I good with the 1 week out?
What do you think?
I'm thinking
What's in front of you?
empty space.
Right.
Like,
So
yeah.
now again, you're shorting this down, and that's all good. But we have to acknowledge that if it goes down, and because you have a little bit of time there, if it does not flush, right? That's how we know that the sellers are involved. If it does not flush, it's likely going to be trending down. And I would anticipate it looks like that. So I would watch 27.91 because that is trend control. And that's it. Do your thing.
All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. Coin, I did coin, right? Yeah. Okay. MBLY, Mobile Global, and down. So I mean, I can see the empty space underneath you. This looks like a fucking nightmare. You get big moves down, so maybe that's what this is. Um, but that, that's the first thing that I see here, right? Is it just is obviously a spooky stock to trade, but you do have a floor at 1371 that can serve as your stop loss if it is reclaimed. And you do have, I guess what we can call empty space underneath us as well. I see the first resistance that we had to break to make that empty space was right here at 1240. So yeah, there is for sure more potential downside here. One thing that's kind of glaring here is the top, though. I feel like you got to watch out for this 1327. And again, I'm looking across the board, and that has been a resounding resistance slash bounce level. So, all right, TFC earnings 24 earnings, no. Next day, no, no, nope. Kind of. I guess you get 150 to 130. I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this one long term. I played this one, if you don't remember, about a month ago. We made really good on it. On our first attempt to go fill that empty space up to like $9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're stuck in between. I mean, this is just simple. I mean, I don't think earnings is going to be anything crazy based on what history tells us, but you have two triggers, or yeah, two triggers. You're in between both of them. Top is 5 here. Bottom over here is 615. Cost base is 705. Cost base is 650 or 450, excuse me. Target above 350, and then I guess to the upside, you really just have 978. So one or the other. Uber 24. Ooh, nasty rejection right there. Wake up, tap the top, previous top. So, I mean, if you were bearish on this one, I don't know if I could blame you. You know, let's look at the 4 hour. So that was a nice juicy range. You came down and bounced off that. This was the previous top. You struggled to do anything with it when you hit it. Yeah, I will in just a second. 55.32. I could see some downside, I think, with today's rejection. I see this thing right here. I don't know what that's playing into, but um this is a tough area. I think off of the rejection with a stop loss, maybe a little bit of a longer expiration, but a stop loss around 92.72. You got to measure your risk on that one or look on the lower time frame. Um, but yeah, this one, I think dropping and closing underneath 88, 87, 89. Empty space. Yeah. So they definitely have some lower time frame setup right there, right? Now this is the old hook. And obviously we don't climb down. We can't use the rock climbing mentality, but this is trying to secure that baton, right? You're holding, you're bouncing. So I think today's candle, yes, could be something that above 140, 150, right? Definitively above 140, 150. You will probably struggle or try to, no, I'm not going to say struggle, but it would be 143.25 that you need to reclaim. At that point, yes, there is a empty space play up to 149.37. I mean, the empty space is 162, obviously, but that first, like, little 50% bounce would be first target. Show us my candle. Thanks, man. My candle setup. That reset mic. What's wrong with my mic?
You kind of sound like a robot, but I don't want to distract you from your analysis.
Oh, so sorry. So just
DoorDash and Big Mike.
yeah, right. Does that sound better?
Yeah, sounds a little bit more.
Sounds the same.
Yeah, still get a Donald Duck commentary along with it. Yeah, it's a little more ducky. You know those devices that people with the hole in their throat use to talk? It kind of sounds like that in the background when we talk.
I'll get a new fucking monitor, and everything else fucking goes crazy. Hold on.
Your score's gone downhill since you went to South Carolina for a computer.
I didn't go there. They came here. I wouldn't go there.
Go easy on South Carolina. You going to South Carolina?
Some creepy guy tried to touch me in South Carolina.
I'm by the property in Greenville, so let's see. Need to tell them it's good property.
All right. Is this good? Any better at all?
How much you paying to take that property off your hands there, Des?
Is this all right? We talk about that later. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh my Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, so this is easy. This is easy. This should be easy. If you can just be patient on this one, you got a nice little pocket of empty space. You got a nice little box right there. I know the swing would be a little bit tough, you know. I think there could be also a nice little juicy trend right there. So yeah. All right. What do we got? Uber TXN, Texas Instruments. I mean, what the fuck is really the only place I can start here. And I think this thing just stopped being a stock. That's absolutely, I mean, wild. Pay
That
dividend.
sucks ass.
This must just be like a rich people savings account. Straight up. It just stays in range. This shit might be better than fucking. I mean, that's what you want. Yeah, well, anything's fucking better than Sony. I used to trade the shit out of Sony though. That stock actually, chef's kiss. But that was back when it was SNY. That was before Stelia was born.
Sony actually.
I haven't looked at Sony recently yet. TXN. So this is hard for me to like, yes, there is empty space to the upside. Use your lower time frame triggers to get there. There's only one line that is in front of you at the moment. I mean, if that's really what you're aiming for, I would even be uh I mean, yeah, I would probably try to use even something closer, like that box right there. So QQQ hit 574. Wasn't that your resistance? QQQ resistance was 575. So I mean, this is pretty fucking close. It's the only resistance that I had, and I still think. I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, it wasn't technically 575. I'm rounding, but we're gonna call that touched. Now, is somebody maybe grabbing puts right around here? You'll maybe, but that's none of your business. Why are these so cheap on the queues? Oh my god. All right. Anyway, sorry, I got a little distracted there. TXN, SMCI. Okay, that's a weird looking one. I don't know. Let's go to a 24-hour. Oof. So definitely can go ahead, mark that down. Now, one thing I notice about this is there's like that pop up, and then really it's right here, right? And so it's almost like it's down. So I would be looking at 43.94 first. And truthfully, if you even break 43.23, I would start looking at SMCI breaking down much further. The reason I'm saying that is this has been a big wall, right? Kind of keeping you clamped down. So if that's lost, then yeah, downside. That bounce was unsuccessful in reclaiming anything. TX, all right, is that one Netflix up? Yeah, this one actually had a pop out today. Didn't we talk about that? I'm almost positive I said something about that yesterday. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I did. Floor right there, range right here. You're closing green up against it. There's really that. I mean, that's a range. It's not a box. So what is that? 1234. I see a 123 right there, so I mean it's hard not to aim up towards somewhere up towards 1260, 1250. Yeah, not bad. Kava earnings next Tuesday. Holy hell. Almost just based off of what I just saw there alone, I want to take it. Oh my God. All right, hold on. Buckle your seatbelts. Or unbuckle them, actually. Open the car door. Damn, that's a lot of clampage right there. Earnings, trash, earnings. We'll call that a decent bounce. That was a big ripper. Next day you reverse. That was a big ripper. Nice. That was confusing. That wasn't any good. That was not, yeah, very great. Um, hmm. I'm gonna take it. I think I'm gonna look at the contracts here in a second, but I like 76.23 down, and I like 106 channel top, and then maybe 110 up. Hold on. If we're not gonna go anywhere, we hit 97 and stay flat.
I don't think you're gonna like these contracts.
I'm moving that way, so let's see.
76 or like $100. Guess have fun.
Let's see if I can buy some of these 110s. A little $500 in there. Downside 76. Yeah, those are fucking horrendous.
I'll do a little test buy. It's being filled at 37, so
So I'll just buy less of the 70s. Can't buy very many of them. 1 to 1. Next week. EL, Estee Lauder. Yo, we're getting mad close to 1500. I think we just need 26 people. If you're on here and you're not subscribed to YouTube, do it. Use your kid's YouTube Kids account or something. All right, so on the weekly time frame, EL is running into a range. You have reclaimed the floor. You are at the median. It's not my favorite box, but I would say 103.82 and the floor directly up above you, which it should be 112.50, right? Here's your box. So I do see that if you lose 84.22, you should be coming back down and then literally over your high. I think a 24-hour back me up on that one. Yeah. If if you're at resistance, there is some empty space up there, but I don't know about the channel. The channel has disintegrated kind of. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you broke out of the channel. All right. Let's see. We've got AG. So consolidation looks decent going into earnings. However, how does it perform? Not good. Not good. Not good. Decent. Hold on. Start at 6, drop to 5. Ugh. I guess the whole drops to 440, so that might have been decent. That one takes a couple days after. Again, small. So there's nothing really about this chart that, on the higher time frames that looks super crazy. I think you have a decent little uptrend right there, and then an overhead flat resistance. So maybe one day you can get your ass back up there to 23 on the long term scale. But I couldn't say anything more than 1285 maybe after earnings. But as a earnings play, the previous results kind of deter me a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Toast down. Damn, might have to join your ass on that one, buddy. That looks fucking damn near delightful. I gave 3 YouTube chubs. I'm trying to be there. Hell yeah. If it costs too much to cover, I'd rather just buy one way. Cover? What do you mean cover? Are you actually shorting stock, Wayne Wonder? And like buying and shorting stock? Or what are you doing? We're not selling options. You don't have to own any, equity or anything like that. But I'm not gonna lie, that actually does look pretty damn good. Oh shit, yep, we're almost to 980. Uh okay. So, let's see here. Got I'm looking at these contracts. It doesn't look bad. I was gonna invert the scale. I mean, come on. So let's talk about a few things, right? Let's talk about a few things. It means more when you say it twice. Look at that. So you have these two floors, and you did get solid rejections off of those. You bring them down to their candle closes, and all of a sudden that becomes a fat median within this range. So that's clearly important. Now, toast, big move up, not really seeing. Okay, so it doesn't. It's not a. Yeah. The move downs to the downside seems. Back here we had some really big giddy up, but here recently not so much. So I do not hate it. I can say that. It does look pretty good. Let's flip the chart back over. I think because of the way that it moves, if we can find a decent expiration, then yeah. Again, I don't hate that. So let me take a look at it myself. Is something happening right now? Are we moving? He didn't want to play both sides for Kava. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can either A, just buy less of something that costs more, so that dollar wise you're kind of around the same range. If you're leaning to one side or the other, that's where that could change things a little bit. So, all right. So I don't know if I want 3 weeks. I think two. I think I think the 20. Yeah, I think the 22nd. Yeah, I mean, punch through the box. I don't think that takes that long. Um, I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. Let's see, the target is
I think you're right.
3680. The spreads. Ow.
39 cents you had to. That happened last time I played it, Potter. Well, the split time when they got closer to our strike price.
So I'd have to take like 3 weeks out, the 39 strike, or the 38 strike would be, I think, pretty palpable. And then if you're trying to go closer, that's where I mean, almost 40 would probably be, because it's you'd have to fight to get into those contracts with the weird spreads that go out a little bit further. So like you can't really play too deep out there, but it's not the most exciting play in the world. This is like going to McDonald's in another country. Like it's definitely high quality, but it's still McDonald's.
McDonald's is high quality.
No. Well, in other countries. That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
See, Europe, they
Hey,
use all natural products and all that chemicals and bullshit in it. So.
we do though. We love that. I gave you a few more subs. Let's see. I love subs. Who loves meatball subs here? Okay. All right. Lonely world I live in. Okay. Okay. Can we, guys? This is going on YouTube. Just for 1 hour a day. Can we keep absolutely? Do you know how many emails I've actually gotten saying I'd love to join, but you guys are kind of crazy? I'm gonna stay the way I am. I'm not changing for nobody. I mean, we could if I'm looking at myself and if I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I could do better. So so yeah. Anyway,
We don't need no clones.
no, I could do better. That means we can do better. All right, on to what the hell? Oh, okay. Can't be mad at that. It's a little liquid, but it looks pretty fucking good. What? Toast is clear. It looks pretty clear. Yeah. I mean, I Sue laid down. Yeah, dude. We got basically 21 more people, and then I'll go out to Best Buy and I'll just buy a bunch of random shit for the giveaway.
Buy a new mic first.
No, I have a fucking $500 mic setup. It's just something's wrong with.
Well, let's put
All right. Anyway, on to does look pretty good over 105.50. And then up to yeah, 120, right? That would be the clearest setup. And then it has earnings or had earnings. It had earnings.
sorry, man. They actually missed, I think.
Guidance could have been good. 7 days out. Oh my god, these contracts are not the worst actually. I'm being so
So what
there's
play?
you're gonna have to play with the spread though a little bit, y'all. Yeah, if you're gonna get into that, I mean, the green candle close. What else can you ask for? You know.
No, I mean,
But if you don't like it, don't do it. It's just that simple. So
no.
HPQ up. If you like it, do it. Set a good stop loss. Pull yourself up by the back of your underwear and kiss your ass goodbye. All right. No, we have empty space directly up above you. Seriously, there is not much else that you can actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like the candle is closing where normally we see, and it does look like maybe on a lower time frame we see a little bit of empty space that could be retested. So maybe a retest going into Monday. The only thing that I see directly in front of you is that, and that is 2610. You need to talk to us about getting in and out of spreads because oh my god, the trauma. Well, you can do this. Start by not buying things that have wide spreads. People email saying crazy, meaning aggressive trading. I mean, you don't have to stay here. Um, I learned electricity or I learned how to do, you know, uh, electric work, basic electric work from a crackhead. So like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, but listen, he was good at his job. It fueled his habit. I saw that dude everywhere. He wore fucking his glasses looked like swimming goggles, which made it even better. Like lightly tinted blue. HPQ. I mean, those are cheap. The risk is low. The reward is high. You could add a week. Just what?
So it's for next week.
Yep. Whatever you do is a lot better than that, Alex, dude. That's for damn sure. All right. Lily Shep, did you hear me talk about the snow? At this point I feel like I'm just bragging, but yeah, great trade. This was probably one of my heavier setups because I added to it. But the contracts were a little bit more expensive than I usually pay. But yes, this one I am continuing to hold. It is closing where it needs to close. It's halfway to the next target, which is 194. I am currently up on two different expirations on snow, staggered expirations, if you will. We've got the 190s for August 25th, and those are up 131%. Um, kind of paid a lot for those. Damn, Soundhound did exactly what we talked about. I didn't even mean to look at that. All right. J Dunn can't do this shit. They don't need to tell me. But 131%. I think his mom laid on her.
Seen a dude take one trade,
Yeah,
and I watched him for like a month.
yeah, he just stays staring at the screen.
Make sure he's like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, that dude definitely has a dome. I think his mom laid on her stomach during pregnancy, but so anyway, HPQ does look good, yes. Snow or the swing over the weekend looks good. If you have it already, we've been through hell, okay? Don't You can't join now. This is me and Karina, right? And Alex is kind of like in a sidecar, but the wheel is kind of bumpy. But he's with us. But that wheel might come off. I don't know. Uh, oh, Blue, you with me? All right, let's go. I'll pull you closer. Pause. All right, so yeah, there you go. I'm up 140% on HPQ already. I think we just pumped your contracts, Chief. Straight up. We pumped your shit. That's what we do here at Simple Stacks Investments. We pump your shit. Yo, can we clip that and put that at the end of all of our videos? All of the YouTube videos. All right, Tesla. Listen, listen. I feel probably the same way that you guys do. I was looking at this one earlier, and I just know that something's gonna happen. Like, and I know that doesn't tell you anything. Like, if something's gonna happen, but man, I mean, you're coming out of extremely tight consolidation, inside of really tight consolidation, uh, stacked on top of consolidation underneath so like there's something coming for sure. Now my trigger, and I've tried to, I've made this clear right here, at this, what is that, the 345, or excuse me, sorry, that is 333.60, 334. That is what we need to be up against. Right now sellers have a job to do. Right now they're trying to do their job. They could potentially do their job, and you've got empty space underneath you, and you do have empty space underneath you, and you have a gap underneath you at the floor. Picking up what I'm putting down here, and you have a gap underneath you. So there is, the Tesla contains both dualities, a bearish and bullish one. And I think that where you're at, and I hate to say that, but there is nothing telling me right now, other than, yes, you are closing green, but we're watching this hourly. We still have plenty of time left to potentially even fall and drop into that 322 before the end of the day. So if this is keeping your foot on the gas pedal, you need to head to the gas station. All right, moving on. And I just want to say this. If you're already in, manage your position, right? Yes, you have empty space underneath you. Yes, there is the worst case scenario down at 311. To the upside, if you pop off and over basically today's high. So this could be an intraday thing. right? Don't force it if it doesn't feel right. The only variable here is some weird tweet from Elon, or, Trump and Elon make up again, maybe even make out, right? And that would put a lot of pressure on Trump and Elon and the stock, which would be pretty fire. And that would definitely shoot us up and out. 350 would be the immediate target if we do get above that floor. And at that point, we have to start looking at the probability of us actually going up and hitting the 380s. We got a fat gap up there at 402. Swinging who? Swinging what? If the option contract volume is really low, like 20 and they sell before he does that. Yeah, so if we were to pump up his contracts and that was the only reason that he was up, we could, yes, if we all sold, we could blow who dat out of the water. We would never do that to you though. All right. Everybody sell your contracts. I'm just kidding.
They work.
Do you live in do you live in New Orleans by chance? Can you get me a helmet? I thought I bought one on TikTok, but instead I actually bought a raffle ticket for $100 to win one. I was so upset, dude. I got bamboozled by not reading the instructions. And then I left a bad review, and then they called me and they're like, well, they left a message. They're like, we wanted to talk about your bad review. And then I was like, wait a second, I think I've made a mistake. Anyway, Eli Lilly is running, making contact right now. It's got empty space directly underneath inside of that box. So this is a reassuring candle close. But it is not right now. I mean, yeah, I guess if you were taking this play, I'd have my, suspicions, but your stop loss would be pretty clear at 635.66. If that pops up, you've got empty space. There could be a little reversal right off of that. Man, go get me a helmet, dude. We need to get an equipment manager for the NFL in here. All right, Joby Aviation. That one's also on the watch list. Sorry, I forgot about that one, like my stepson. Just kidding, I don't have a stepson. But this does, or has, as far as I'm concerned, punched back through the box, right? You're there. I am looking for the floor to get lost, the wicks to get lost, and for the empty space underneath us to get moving. That's it. Now, I will say, wide fluctuation in prices, our worst fear is that we create a channel at some point. But just as fast as it ripped up, I'd like to hopefully see that back down. Now, see this right here? If this thing reclaims or loses its floor and reclaims it, pull the chute, get out. All right. I've seen that in the past. All right, we have MSTR. This one is pretty ugly. Yeah. Huh? I skipped you. Where are you at? Oh my God, you know what? It's because you have a dark blue name. I'm not really a fan of the dark blue. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I got all right, kid. Nah, dude. We don't wear that color around here, you know what I'm saying? 5740. Yes, TSN. And didn't we talk about this? Holy shit. Yeah, empty space within the box. You filled up the empty space. Now you got to pop up. Yeah, we definitely did talk about this one. Punch over that box, excuse me, at 5750, and you have the birthright to go to 59. On what, TSN?
Yep.
59. Yeah. No. Is that financial? No, I'm just kidding. That is, yeah, that is 60s, and that would be the target to the upside over that 57.60. So Potter confirmed he is a blood. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. If you're watching out there, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, go to
On phone Cali, what are you talking about? I was born on Grape Street, dude. Let's see here. You rep your set twin. uh that's right. We don't play here in the suburbs. I'm sorry. Yeah, so what the fuck? No, I didn't. Who? How'd I skip? Baby, no, I didn't. Oh, that's because somebody put a check mark by it. I thought I already did it. Alex, why'd you do that? He put a check mark. I have a reason to look. Wait, we already went over this with Stelio. Yes, it looks good. You guys are racist. I'm just kidding. Oh my. Oh my god. No. 2780. That's crazy AI right there. Hey, who unsubscribed from the YouTube? No, I'm just kidding. I did MSTR, right? You saw that? MSTR. Ah, the Grape Street Crips was a real thing. Google it, right? Look at that. No, no, I think people. I think, huh? I'm sure they do. Um, yeah, I did this one. Yeah, you need a punch back over 410. And you're pulling back right now into the structure that you came out of. You have empty space back down to 384. Okay, not like us. Um, honestly, with that right there, either you stay in range or this is liable to try to go and punch back down. You do have quite a bit of empty space up there. Well, I'm not gonna. You do have empty space up there to 447. So over that wick, it's green. All right, it is 351. Has everybody done what they needed to do? I hope. Whether that's hedging, grabbing the positions that you like over the weekend. I hope you guys have picked the right expiration. And I really hope that if you do like the setup that you're buying, that you are not buying one contract. Is anybody in here buying one contract? Just check. Oh. I wasn't even talking about Ivy, dude. Nah, did I call anybody out though for real? Yeah, Diddy sounded hella guilty when he said that. He said no. Do I see anything good to swing over the weekend? Are you trying to get signals, Ron Win? Huh? Are you subscribed to the YouTube channel? Asian contracts? Oh. No, oh my god. You um so a couple of things. Look, I'm still hanging on to Trip. Um that one's definitely gotten battered. Um I've got some queue positions for over the weekend. I've got let's see here. I'm still holding some runners on Clove. I bought some onto. I'm up 33% on that one. Toast puts. I've got for August 29th and August 26th or 22nd, excuse me. Joby 1550 puts, got those. Snow, those are up 130%. I got the 190s and 175s, different expirations, August 22nd and September 5th. And I got your mom. I'm just kidding. That's it. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's the end of the week, dude. I'm falling apart. I don't have a mom. Oh yeah. I was just gonna say, if you did take profit today on Apple, there is pockets up to 234.44. That is the only. Well, there's a gap up there as well. The gap is at 238. So, has it lost anything? No. I have to add this. Sorry. Yes, there is that target right there. 231. So 231, if you gap up, I could see that gap getting filled. So, or is it? Sure. Yeah. They were just cheap. That's it. I didn't have a lot of them. I just got them because of Ivy. I mean, I tried. I sold some this morning, but yeah, it didn't. If you but let me also say, Trip was for today. I had I have $15 puts for August 15th, but those obviously got blown out of the water. And then today's calls I utilized to hedge that. And I was able to trim off of some of those. So but at the end of the day, yeah, dude, I didn't give a shit. I don't care. One of the best hedges is not giving a shit. If it's not worth giving a shit about, or if it was, pennies in a bucket, then oh well, melt the pennies down. Yeah. Sometimes I have to like go at the end of the week and clear out like some like dirt like 2 or 3 contracts that have just gone to shit. You know what I mean? Like I'll have to. It's like cobwebs. Yeah. Co- It's good to clear the cobwebs out though. Get your account all cleaned up, spiffed up. Yeah, I am. I I I hate. There's no reason for you to take. Like, yeah, I have a bearish sentiment deep inside of me, and it's wrong, right? It's like, yeah, I was gonna make a really inappropriate metaphor, but yeah, it's not the right mentality here. But again, I can afford to fucking speculate on that, and I'm going to. I see these holes underneath us. If we pop off the top, then I guess my hedges save my booty. Um, but I'm gonna keep speculating on it, and that's just my prerogative. And I could be making a big mistake, or I'm gonna stay within my risk. So I could be making a mistake, and I'll find out shortly. But that's just my own little thing. The rest of everything else that we have, snow. I've got more money in snow than anything else. So, um, do I look on higher? What? Wait, what? The expiration on Joby. Um, it is. Hold on a second. Yeah, I gotta see. Yeah, August 22nd. Okay. Anything else?
PM, order.
Your system works, I just believe, by 100 paper cuts. So you got to stop taking 100 paper cuts. Stop speculating. I know that's one of the worst things. Like I've talked to people about this before 100 times. Like yeah, part of me wants to go like a whole month without telling you guys anything that I'm doing at all, so that you can make decisions on your own. I don't want you to be influenced. Like by me shorting the queues right now, am I a person capable of doing dumb shit? Yes. And I'm fully aware that what I'm doing is, technically on paper probably not super smart when you're going up against the highs, but I'm using good risk. Maybe a little high, but I'm using good risk, and I've got hedges. If it pops off the top and we gap up to some ridiculous 580 price target over the weekend, my ass is saved. But Yeah, I want people to take things, if this setup looks good and everybody else is taking it. And that's the cool thing about being in the Discord is like you're not taking signals if everybody is using the same system. I mean, if you're straight up saying, all right, I'm calling the $41 calls, but if you guys come to the same conclusion, that's fucking fire.
Part about this because people see it on TikTok and they don't realize that like we ask the same question, but we ask them for different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of ask like what you took. And I know these people chart themselves, and I'm like, they're not asking to figure out what you took. They're asking because they know you're more knowledgeable, and they want to see what they were choosing comparatively to what you would choose. And
Okay, let me dissect why, what I see from that chart and why Potter would choose this and what I'm not seeing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different. It's awesome seeing people work together like that and we all come to the same conclusions, or we can all disagree on what direction, but we can explain why and it makes sense to everyone.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I've told Bobby this, like, this Discord now, it's taken me 2 years to like really refine it into basically since I put the workshop out. Once I put that out, I said no more of anything else. This is what we're doing, and this is what my goal is, a hive mind. And that is exactly what we've accomplished. And that's the difference. That's what part of what people are paying for, when they join is like every single person in here has gone through the workshop. I hope, um, and has been in this group for, a lot of you have been here for an extended amount of time. You guys are working together to try to find and look for the exact same setup across the market. So it's one of those things where it's a self-refining process. It either looks good or it doesn't. You have an echo? Oh, when people talk, yeah. I know. I'm sorry. Echo check? Echo? Okay. That's cool. I have an echo checker. All right, we're gonna go ahead. That's the one thing I need to adjust to is I stopped doing dumb shit. I've been going through the workshop every day since I joined last week. And I will tell you this: if a lot of you guys made a lot of money during KSSS and Neo and all this, JD and all this other shit that we took, um, you know, slowing down and kind of adjusting or taking time. Seriously, I mean, taking time to take a step back, let your emotions cool down. Um, that's also super important. But then for those of you who take these big leaps forward and then spend the next 2 weeks trimming them off, you have got to remember why you got into that play in the first place. Because it was a clear 24-hour empty space setup. And I said this the other day, man, some of you, like, I'm not trying to shoot none of you guys down. Your life could be way easier if you would stop looking at shit that does not make sense. For some people who have the time, energy, and know-how, do what you need to do. But if your priority right now is building your account and making money, then your priority is looking for a setup that works. Stop it. You can't, you know, exploring, right? Build your fucking account up first before you start trying to take this and that, or take a little day trade. Forget that you made any money. Like I'll take you back to when I was trying to flip, little bits of cash and make it past that 10K hurdle. The reason that I took that money out there was because I knew if I left it in there, no matter what, I would know that I had dry powder, and I'm in everything, and I'm in anything. And obviously I didn't have them as a refined process as I do now. But if you have an answer to the fucking, just even one answer to what the stock market has to offer, which not a lot of people do, then you should focus on that. Focus on that. That might mean that 1 week, Apple was definitely something that you could have taken intraday. There's a lot of different other, off the top anyway, there was a couple of swing trades as well that worked out. But there's going to be weeks that you show up, and if you need to put a post-it note that says 24-hour clear setups only, but you're going to show up and the contracts aren't going to fit the script, the setups are not going to fit the script, right? It might look good, but the contracts are off, or the contracts are cheap, but the setup is weird. That just means that, that is discipline. And when you are, and I am primarily talking to those of you who are newer and trying to build your accounts, because that discipline is what helped me get out of that pit of hitting 10K and fucking blowing it. All right, well, if that's the problem, get rid of the 10K, stop babying myself, and find a way to forget that it even happened and do it again. Do it again. Put yourself in the same fucking shoes that you had to when you had a $500 or you put your first deposit in. You're going to hit like a couple losses. That is inevitable, regardless of how good our system is. The reason that we hyper focus on low risk and high reward contracts is so that if those events do happen, right, that's not taking what day traders take as losses. We're not losing $800 in a lightning second, for the most part. But I can't emphasize this enough. Like this, I know we laugh and play and kiki in here and all that other shit, but like dead ass, this is a serious, like, you got to be serious with your account, right? Like there's no play grabbing this, having fun, like focus, because if you're new, you are in the hardest part of the stock market. The stock market eats up these tiny accounts. I mean, and you're no different. So it's like you have an edge. You figured it out. You're a part of a group that does have an edge and has proof to show it. Look for that again. Focus on that. Solid contract prices, solid 24-hour weekly setup, and then make a plan. And I know that sounds really easy, but it could be if that's all you focus on. And as you move up, if you hit 20K or you hit 15K and you've pulled out money and you see IWMs looking nice and compressed and it's got empty space above it or it's got empty space below it and you like the bounce, feel free, right? You can afford that risk now. You could put $100 out there. It's not that far away that, like, you don't have to put in years of work to fucking get there. You need to be patient. What stops newer traders from making money most of the time? It's the impatience, because we are sitting on top of an entity that can give us potentially money in infinite amounts. And that is a hard thing for our brains to handle. And it takes repetitive discipline, talking to yourself, narrating, writing post-it notes. I was losing my mind when I first started doing this. I literally had post-it notes all over my wall, expo markers on everything that was made of glass, everywhere. I was unshaven and losing my mind. But, these are the lessons that I pulled out of those experiences, because I can't tell you how painful, and that's where this is all rooted in pure pain. Knowing that I needed to provide for my family, knowing that I had medical issues to attend to, knowing that, I had 2 kids and like, yeah, or a kid, a potential kid. This, okay, I just lost fucking $80,000 trying to fucking day trade. What the hell is wrong with me? Why is it that when I get to 10K, I just made a little bit of money go to 10K, and my concern is day trading now? It all hit me like a fucking big bag of bricks. I'm an idiot. I was in the shower and I was like, why don't I just take the fucking money out if I can do it again? And I decided to give it one more shot because I had quit. Because of how, I mean, I can't, I mean, I'm sure you could probably imagine having $80,000 right now and you ain't got shit else, like, and you need that money and it's gone. It's a frustrating place to be. And that's why like, it's so important to me, even at the level that I am now, because if I just start trading like a jackass, I mean, I could lose it all. I could start selling all my shit and putting it, just day trading it. This is a net that I've created. So yeah, stop fucking doing shit. Dumb shit. Stop buying things just because you have I mean, if you need, I don't know if anybody's done this, but seriously, and I plan on doing this soon. I'm gonna go through the games page and I'm gonna go and like publish these charts and the setups that they had going into earnings and after earnings, or before their takeoff and after, like straight up print those fuckers out when we get those done and put them on your wall if you have to. So every day when you step to your desk, the only thing that you can see around you are good setups. And if it doesn't, if you look at the wall and then you look at your chart and it doesn't look somewhat similar, you're fucking up. But I am talking to all of you who are especially new. You know, the temptation's always going to be there to trade every day, but the reality is you got to be, you only have, I think about it this way. If you ain't got a lot of money, you only got a few bullets, right? You got to hit your shot. And we have a system that provides a pretty damn good probability for that shot to hit. It doesn't, the market could care less if you're broke. Couldn't care less if you're rich. Couldn't care less if you need that money now or if you need a fucking prosthetic leg. It could care less. It's going to do what it's going to do. So focus on the fucking chart and that's it. So, and yes, I recorded that.
Potter, what do you think of an idea like if you're able to, like if you're one of the people who just kind of chill on the computer and you're doing this full time, when you post your gains, also post the move that you captured with it, like within the same, so that way we can see, oh damn, 300%, what did he capture? And then that way, even when I go to edit those kinds of videos, I can, that just makes it so easy for everyone, and it's just a better idea of seeing like what people got or people saw.
Well, yeah, we would post those together, you know, the gains and the play. But
Yeah, that'd be cool.
my focus is to just have, I mean, this is not for social media because, you know, outside of social media, you know, what sense is this going to make to anybody else? You know, I guess maybe at a glance, but my focus here is I want to provide like flashcards, more or less, for people to, I mean, literally, what is a good setup on paper, you know, flat, plain and dry. And, you know, we can go through the chart and go through the gains page and look at them, you know, and some of these I didn't even take, you know. Um, so, you know, like even starting with Apple, you know, Apple was a 4-hour setup that we knew had a catalyst outside of it, had a lot of consolidation, dumped down really quickly to its cost basis. And right there, honestly, this, and that were all three entries that could have been provided or could have been taken on Apple, targeting the empty space above.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going back, Nike, of course, right? This is just one that exemplifies everything that we look for. Good consolidation at the bottom. You build, you hold one, two, take a little dip, right? That means that you're going into earnings with a punchback. What's above you? Nothing. So how is price likely going to move? Rip. We want to catch these and get the hell out of there. And when I said that, we were right, weren't we? Because I don't care if it does this little U thing. I'm glad that it popped out. And you know, maybe you're playing it on a lower time frame. But that's, dude, I guess, you know, you would have think this is the opposite, but it's like I don't want to get involved in this shit. I want this, I want all of it, and I want to get out of there. Move on. Next one. What's next? You know, I don't want to sit there and try to figure out what the next move is. If it stops where I thought it was going to stop and just starts going sideways, thanks. See ya. That's how the market works in waves.
Right.
Waves of expansion, waves of consolidation. So if I got away with the wave, I'm staying away from the consolidation. So show my gain spotter. Danny, what's your screen name? Which one? Which one? You're not. Also, Michael did a really good job today of holding his gains. I don't know if TikTok can see that right now. Yeah, look at that. 4,518%. That is, Michael don't say much, man, but he's back there fucking working.
Cooking.
He is, dude. He's lighting up the gains page. He hit TSLL and Apple. Yep. You don't need to say much. um, let's see. Apple 214, the last one. Oh, you just posted it? Let me see. That was snow. Apple. This, are you Bill Gluckman?
Why is the way you said that? That's so good. Gluckman?
What's your screen name? Just tell me that. Yeah, it'll be on
Gluckmaster.
Gluck. Yeah, wait. Oh, are you talking about in the waiting room? Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Wrong place. So you bought. There you are, Danny. Damn. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. You placed the order at 314. Oh, and it was executed. And when did you buy it? Why am I not seeing when you bought it? Yeah, I see you, but I'm trying to see when you bought it. As of, because scroll down. Oh, there you go. Okay. Buy to open, Apple. That's the wrong one.
I'm confused. Was that just a 5 cent? It looked like he bought it for 380 and sold for 385.
I don't really know. Hold on. Tesla, Amazon, Apple. Oh, damn. He did hold 731.25. Yeah, he held from last week. Yeah, great job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah.
get it now.
Yeah, I see it now.
see it
But
now.
he had a good expiration. I think that's the point though, is yeah, he picked a really good expiration to be able to hold that. So that was good. And that's, you know what, I do remember saying, it was one of those things that, if you held a longer expiration and it was going to happen fast. So mild. Look at that snow. So, we could go and look at snow and kind of go over the exact same thing, because my thought process, right, is exactly the same. And I thought about this short, if you guys remember, I was actually looking at taking a rejection off of cost basis. I actually got into that trade July 28th on a Monday. Next day went red, thought, maybe might get something. At the end of the day, the next day, you shot out off of somebody else's earnings. Next day, before I could even exit, right, this thing peeled back down. Now, thankfully, that's a punchback and then a pullback, right? Back into the box through the 50% mark. Underneath that box, you had another one, right? So you flip this chart upside down, and this is the exact same thought process. It's the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over. And I'm going to be doing this until I die, or until the market is so ran by AI that I'm no longer relevant because somebody's built a PBS bot that does it all for us. But sorry, bro. But the reality is if you go and you look at the majority of the things that we trade, or fuck off. The majority of things that we make money on or have made money on, they look the same. The biggest gains that we make, KSS. Well, yeah, it went way past my expectations for what I thought could happen. Same thing, empty space, structure, close outside of that empty space. Take my trade. All right, 1 second. Hold on. I just spilled coffee. No. Oh. I spilled my coffee.
KSS broke my heart, man, because I was in that play with you guys. I don't know if you guys remember. I told you guys I was in Cappadocia, Turkey, on vacation, and they didn't have Discord. I was on a plane when KSS went off. So by the time I got off the plane, I still hit it for a good amount, but nowhere near close to what you guys had it for.
Man, dude, that's
Damn.
that. Yeah, dude, that there's nothing to do but mourn that. You know, that's life, but that sucks, dude. That yeah. Listen,
Like, hold the fucking plane. I'll pay for it.
dude, I can't tell you how many times big plays went off when I was at the grocery store. That shit used to drive me fucking nuts. That's why I started fucking Instacarting. I swear to God.
Dude, the other day, fucking I was getting my hair cut at FOMC, and that was hitting, and that felt crazy because I was trying to like play it cool and like do it while he wasn't cutting, important parts of my hair and shit, where I could like move around a little, move my fingers around and shit. That was weird, dude. That was a weird fucking scenario.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that hurt me. Like I think I only got like half of what you guys got. And it's crazy because Discord, they don't have it in Turkey. I guess they have laws against it because I guess I didn't know this, but Discord has a lot of child pornography or something like that in,
Oh,
and
don't say that.
Turkey didn't.
Don't say that word on live. Sorry, you're good, but
Oh, sorry, I didn't
you're good.
know. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't allow it there at all.